Hello, I'm Les Lancaster. I'm founding director of the Alef Trust and director of the PhD program that we run in applied transpersonal psychology. I want to talk to you about a new course I'm running with the Shift Network. It's an American-based organization which specializes in the kind of work that we do with the Alef Trust in spirituality, psychology, and in my case, areas of mysticism. So the new course is entitled Mystical Kabbalah and the Psychology of Consciousness. It's been really interesting working with the people at Shift because I think they have a great handle on what people are looking for. And obviously they know their clientele very well. And in designing this course, I've taken account of what their people are saying as to, how it should be pitched and what the interest is out there. And the one thing that's come across from them is the importance of practice, that people are looking for ways of practicing that sort of deepen their sense of connection with themselves, with a broader reality, and with what many would call the divine. So in designing the course, I've made that a central part of what I'm doing. So for example, there's a practice based in the breath, which brings in the Hebrew, one of the Hebrew names of God. And in the free uh, introductory video that I've recorded for Shift, I give a little sample of that practice. The other thing I'm going to emphasize, again, because of the orientation that Shift encourages, are movement practices. So again, this is an area of practice that I've really developed over a number of years with others who I work with to bring in what I think of as a more transpersonal psychological approach. Obviously, movement work is very central to many of the spiritual traditions, Tai Chi, yoga, etc. The Kabbalah, which is the mysticism that has fascinated me over many, many years, and I've studied in some depth, uh, Kabbalah does not present a very rich tradition of working in an embodied way. I think there are some aspects of it, and when we look historically, there may have been more in the past, but certainly I felt that was a gap, and so with others we developed movements which relate to the Hebrew letters, which is a central theme in the Kabbalah. The letters which go back really to an earlier period, earlier than Rabbinic Judaism, for example, those letters have very interesting mystical qualities, which again we'll be exploring in this new course. So we devise movements drawing on ideas in Tai Chi, in Qigong, those kind of areas, devise movements to express the inner dimension of these letters. So that's another aspect that I brought to the fore in the 7-week course, working with movement. But of course, there's also the whole backdrop of the integration with psychology, which is, of course, what I'm interested in as a transpersonal psychologist. So that involves thinking in terms of what we know about the psychology of consciousness. What is consciousness? Where does it arise? What's its function? And I think the sort of neuroscience is a little limited, and I think we need a broader understanding of the place of consciousness in the universe as a whole. And again, in a religious sense, place of consciousness in relation to God. And I feel that human consciousness is part of the process whereby the source of everything expresses itself and through human consciousness, as it were, comes to know itself. So that's a contemporary perspective on a lot of the more uh, deeply elaborated ideas in the Kabbalah. So please join me if you're interested. It'll be a course which draws on the historic roots of the Kabbalah, but also, as I said, it's a course that will bring forward the relationship with transpersonal psychology. So I hope to see you there. Bye now.